You cannot run a country through a barrel of a gun. In this modern day and age, you cannot run a country through a barrel of a gun. That's not leadership. That's not how you lead people. You do not force yourself through the throats of your people to lead them. You cannot do that. In this day and age, leaders must become modernized. They have to find better ways of doing things, especially African leaders. I'm referring to the issue of Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe needs serious prayers. I don't know, pastors, everyone and anyone who can help. That country needs, serious prayers. Ministers are bullied, government officials are bullied, citizens, it's worse. When you are just an average citizen in Zimbabwe, if you say something against the president, against the government, you disappear. They torture people, they brutalize people just for speaking your mind, having a different view. It is so sad that this is what Africa has become. Not the whole of Africa, but most leaders in Africa, they are dictators, and they believe that dictatorship is the way to go. You do not do that. Why can't we learn few lessons from other developed Western countries, how they run their countries? You cannot force yourself to your people. If your people are tired of you and say they don't want you anymore, why do you want to overstay? Emerson Mnangagwa is aware now that the people are tired of him. The people don't want him anymore. And every chance that they get, they will destroy him. So, as a leader, how do you feel about that? I know that these are very old, typical people who don't understand nothing about leadership. These are the people who manage to maneuver around to ascend to senior positions through shady ways. I don't want to be too much into that space. They have sold their souls a long time ago in exchange of leadership. But here we are now, having Zimbabwe going through what it's going through, and the leader continues to victimize people, to fire the chief commander of the military, to fire this one. Anyone that he doesn't trust, he just gets rid of them. People will develop a strategy. This is politics. In politics, you would understand why what happened today actually happened. You need to confuse your enemy. The people of Zimbabwe today didn't really do any protest or anything, because politically, you know that they have deployed army, they have deployed soldiers, and they were told, given a specific instruction, that anyone who attempts to do anything funny, just deal with them decisively. There's no law. So Zimbabwe has developed a kind of lawlessness country. If you can brutalize your own people, the very same people whom you force them to vote for you, what about someone who's coming from another country, having a different view with you? He's sending out the message that there's no democracy in Zimbabwe. You cannot lead people that way. That is why in my last episode I said the whole ZANU-PF must just go out. They must just be removed, because if you take the deputy, a military coup maybe, and the deputy becomes the president, it's a coup from the same pot. I don't see it as a solution. As much as in South Africa, people celebrated that Thabo Mbeki has resigned, now there's Zuma, but nothing changed. Zuma has resigned, now Cyril Ramaphosa, he's a billionaire, he's not going to steal anything and all of that. Nothing has changed. In fact, we are going deeper into a sinkhole. The economy in South Africa is not growing. The youth continues to be unemployed. There's an illegal immigration issue, which is also poorly managed. It's not actually managed completely. Nothing. The borders are porous. Anyone comes in and out as they please. The education system is weak. Students here, they passed at a 30% pass rate. What is that? If I have to ask you now, a medical doctor who's a surgeon, who is supposed to operate people, maybe dealing with hearts, will you allow that doctor to operate you when he passed his exam at 30%? Like, will you really allow that doctor to say, you can operate me? If he tells you that, oh, I did medicine and I'm a surgeon now, I'm a specialist and I passed with 30%, you will never operate me. With 30%, it means you understand nothing out of what you have been, in the examination room, you only understood 30%. So the whole 70%, you didn't understand. You got it wrong. And you want to operate me? I don't think so. So, all these issues, they are of a serious concern. And now we ask ourselves, how can we help our brothers and sisters? Because if we don't become vocal about these issues, either way, they come and bite us. The influx hits South Africa. Everyone is flocking into our country. Everyone is coming into South Africa. It's a concern. And we become overcrowded. We have so many people who are illegal immigrants who don't have any form of identification. They make our life very difficult also. It affects us either way. And the politicians don't care. But I want to say to the Zimbabwean people, do not give up. Change is coming. The process of a regime change can be painful, but has got some fruits. So whatever that you're going through there, please do not give up, because if you give up, it means you surrender to these crooks. So they can rule you until they can rule you forever. They can continue to destroy your lives, to destroy families and everything. So it is so sad that our African leaders, and by the way, look at the ANC posture. Look at how ANC behaves now. The ANC is learning a lot from ZANU-PF, and they would want, or they would love to treat us like that we shouldn't have a voice, we shouldn't have a say, we must just vote for them, and we must just continue its business as usual. They want to do as they please on us, but they are actually, they are actually bound by the deals that they made of democracy, the Mandela and all. They are a little bit, scared that they don't want to show that part, because they will be embarrassed that, oh, the very same ANC that was claiming to represent and to fight for the people is doing that exactly to its own people. So for Zimbabweans not to protest today, it was a smart move. Confuse your enemy. Sometimes when they expect you to act, don't act. That's it. Because you could see that the way the deployment was, by the way, he has to pay overtime for those police officers and those military people and all of that. you need just to pay overtime for nothing. There was no activity. And the opposition parties like Citizens Coalition for Change, Triple C for Nelson Chamisa, they were smart with this move, because somehow we need to control this protest to prevent just bloodshed and brutality. We know that it was about to happen. And someone who's sitting on a position who doesn't want to move, he'd rather have people dying so that he can continue to rule. So you are ruling through a barrel of a gun. And that kind of leadership, it's a shame, it's an embarrassment. And his peers, Cyril Ramaphosa, they don't tell this man that, listen, your people don't want you anymore, because they are also going the same way. People also don't want Cyril Ramaphosa in South Africa. They are tired of him. He's useless. He has done nothing for South Africans. Whatever the Tumamina campaign has never worked. Whatever the New Dawn, there's nothing new here. It's only a repetition of lies and lies and lies. So this is how our leaders are treating us. They become enemies towards us with the treatment that they give to us. I don't know why do they have so much self-hate. If you talk about someone like Emmerson Mnangagwa, it's not a white person. We have been saying, yeah, white people, yeah, they don't like us as Africans. But what happens when a black person treats his own people so horrible? That is self-hate. That is self-hate, complete self-hate. It is so sad. It is so sad. Why can't the African leaders run their countries without bloodshed, without brutality, without oppression? It means you were fighting to take people, from white colonization, from the colonizers, just to colonize them again and oppress them. It is so sad. I don't understand. But, you know, it's a matter of a concern that we'll still continue to engage, to monitor. But nothing happened today. And I'm so proud of them, because you could see that these people, they were ready to slaughter. The police there, they were ready to slaughter. Someone gave them instruction that you need to slaughter those people. If they try to do funny things, deal with them decisively. There's no law. There's no court. There's no human rights are violated left, right, and center. And SADC is quiet about that, because the same Emmerson Mnangagwas, you know, they are part of that. You know, it's quiet, so it's useless. SADC is useless. All these African Union organizations and also, they are useless, because they are perpetuating the same mandate to maintain power and to bully people, to terrorize their own people. Don't you ever dream of wanting to see your country prosper? Having engineers, accountants, advocates, lawyers, and trade, skills, electricians and all. Don't you have a dream of wanting to see your country functioning? Let's not talk about sanctions. Let's talk about the presidents like Emmerson Mnangagwa. Don't you have a dream? Or maybe you are all about yourself, self-enrichment. You don't care about other people, your very own citizens. The very same people are going to be an enemy to you. They're going to turn against you. And one day, you will pay for these things. Autocratic leaders, you can oppress people for 20, 30 years. The day you pay, it will be a shame. How did Robert Mugabe leave that position? It was so sad. People were feeling pity for him. That's the kind of leadership. Anyway, squatters, thank you very much for the new subscribers. Let's keep engaging. These are the issues that are really, the reason why I speak about Zimbabwe and other neighboring African countries. They affect us because there are people, they are flocking into our country. So it's the same. If we keep quiet still, it means we are part of the problem. So we really need to talk about these issues. We really need to address these issues to make sure that they know our position, that this is where we stand. You are causing problems. You are ill-treating your people. You brutalize them. The economy is not growing. They decide now to leave your country and flock into our country illegally. And they cause chaos. They commit crimes. They do silly things. It's a matter of a concern. Otherwise, squatters, I'm so grateful to have you, and let's keep on engaging. I'll hear your comments, by the way, and I'll respond. I like the engagement. Thank you. I appreciate it.